Hey everyone, welcome to another Flow with Abby. So for this week, going to really get into lengthening. So looking to get long in side bends, in vertical twists, getting into the spine in all areas. So many things can stem from our spine, both our source of strength and also sometimes the source of our ailments can start there. What might start in your shoulders or in your hips can actually come from not having a strong enough spine or a spine that has had enough release. So that's the goal for today. Take what you need. If you want to make it more intense, go for it. If you want to take it easy and just really make this more restorative, have at it. As always, you don't really need props, but if you want props, go for it. And if you have any questions or anything at all, don't hesitate to let me know. Shout outs, any thoughts, you can always DM me, direct message me, whatever. I take it all. Everything I do is just for you all. So have a great flow.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started in child's pose, Balasana. Go ahead and bring your big toes to touch and your knees wide if you'd like some hip release. If you need to release in your lower back, then bring your knees a little bit closer instead. You'll stretch your hands towards the front of your mat and generously let your chest sink towards the ground. There's no rush. Maybe your forehead doesn't reach right away. Maybe instead you're trying to let your hips sink towards your heels organically, naturally. You've got the time. Just let yourself breathe. Let yourself create a completely new space, a completely new beginning here. This marks the start of all the activity you're going to do. On your next inhale, come to forearm tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your elbows. Your palms are flat on the mat. Your hips are stacked over your knees. On your next exhale, coming into forearm cat, push your forearms away, curve through your back. Inhale, forearm cow, drop your belly, pull your shoulder blades onto your back. Maybe you let your head go to the left and to the right. Exhale, forearm cat. A few more rounds of this, really using your forearm cat to push the floor away and separate your shoulder blades, and letting your forearm cow drop your belly and really open up through your collarbones. Keep doing this at your own pace. Maybe on your forearm cat, offering to press into the tops of your feet to lift through your knees as you curl through your back line, just for a little bit of core engagement to help get your 360 core, lower back, upper back, abs and glutes warmed up. When you finish, come to a neutral forearm tabletop and then stretch one foot back and then the other, coming to forearm plank on your next exhale. Really reposition yourself, root down through your forearms, reposition your shoulders over your elbows. See if you can look under at your belly button. If your belly button seems high, draw your hips down in line with your shoulders. That's usually my indicator. You'll also feel it in your abs when you lower your hips. Pull your elbows to your toes and your toes towards your elbows. On your next inhale, push up to a full high plank, top of a push-up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let your feet, your heels start to sink towards the mat. If they don't touch the mat right away, that's okay. Take a bend into one knee and then the other, pushing the floor away with your hands, like you're trying to push your hands towards the front of the mat. That will help you to push up through your shoulders and send your hips higher. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk to a rag doll at the top of your mat. The slower the better, the more steps the better. Separate your feet at least hip width apart. You can let your hands rest on the mat, or you can bring your hands to your elbows as well. Just let gravity do its thing here. Let your neck hang. Don't even hold up your head. Just let your spine separate using the force of gravity here. When you've had enough, let your hands come down towards the mat if they haven't already. Bring your feet a little bit closer together, and then slowly on your next inhale, rise to stand at attention, Samastiti. Hands at heart center. Eyes can be opened or closed. From Samasthiti, on your next inhale, mountain pose, Tadasana, reach your arms up high, press down through your feet, and then isometrically pull your feet away from each other. They don't move an inch, but the act of it will really fire up your lower half of your body. See if you can slightly tuck your tailbone to engage your back line. Roll your pinkies in towards each other. Exhale, bound back bend. Interlace your hands behind your back and then send your bind down your back as your chest opens towards the sky. Your gaze comes no further than the ceiling. We're not trying to look to the back of the room. Inhale your arms back up to mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Bring your hands down towards the mat. See if you can bring more weight to the balls of your feet to try to draw your torso closer to your thighs. This in turn will help your hamstrings open. If you have a water bottle or a block, bring it right underneath your face in between your feet. You don't need one. Inhale your right arm up for a little bit of a twist. So your left hand stays grounded or it floats, and your right hand reaches up. Squeeze your shoulders onto your back to open up here. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, forward fold, twist to the left. Your left hand reaches up as your right hand stays either grounded or lifted. Again, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Really bend through this right knee to help you open up your IT band on your left side. Inhale, halfway lift, just to reset here. Exhale, step back to high plank, top of a push-up. Take an inhale. Exhale, high to low or mid plank, bend through your elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Pull your hands back to open up through your chest. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. See if you can catch your breath if you've lost it. We're going to go through this sun salutation A again. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Breath to movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach up to the sky. Exhale, bound back bend. Interlace your hands. Send your bind down. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Just a little reset. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, forward fold, twist to the right. Right hand reaches up, left hand grounded. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, twist to the left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, one more halfway lift. Exhale, step back to a high plank. High to low plank, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale for your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really getting into the spine now. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. One more time through. Inhale, mountain pose. Reach up. Exhale, bound back bend. Inhale, mountain. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, forward fold, twist to the right. Right hand reaches up, bend through your left knee. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, twist to the left, right knee bends. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, feel your spine reset. Exhale, step back to high plank, take an inhale. Exhale, high to low plank chaturanga, or always the option to skip and just come to downward facing dog. When you get to your downward facing dog, take some rounds of breath. Sun salutation B. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, Utkatasana. Sink your hips down and back as your arms come in line with your biceps, or you can bring them to heart center if that helps your shoulders. Squeeze through your inner thighs to feel your outer sits bones widen, and then tuck your tailbone to help send your navel towards the back of your spine, really help protect your low back. On your next exhale, vertical twist to the right. Reach your right hand back as your left hand reaches forward. We're using the same engagement in the forward fold twist here now. Squeeze your shoulder blades onto your back. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, vertical twist to the left. Your left hand reaches back as your right hand reaches forward. Look down at your hips. Make sure that they're both still facing forward. If your left knee is coming behind your right knee, then bring it up more. Inhale, back to chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, just a little reset. Exhale, hands to the mat, step your left foot back, your left knee comes down. Inhale, crescent moon. So this is like crescent lunge, but your back knee is grounded. See if you can pull your right foot isometrically towards your left knee, but then pull your left knee forward towards your right foot. That engagement will really open up your left hip flexor. Hands to the mat, step back to high plank, take an inhale. Exhale, high to low plank, always the option to skip or just hold plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up high, keep your right toes pointed to the ground. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah. Inhale your leg back up high. Exhale, low lunge, bring it all the way through, come down onto your back left knee again. Inhale, crescent moon, reach your arms up high. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat, come to low lunge. Option to come to a standing L, bringing your left foot up in line with your left hip, or take some L hops. See if you can almost come to a headstand here. Use the swing action of your hips to help propel your foot up. When you've done played around enough, go ahead and come back to a high plank. Take a chaturanga if you like, meeting back in downward facing dog. Always the option to play. Play is a good thing. Coming into the left side. On your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. You know what's coming here. Exhale, vertical twist to the right. Right hand reaches back. Inhale, chair. Exhale, vertical twist to the left. Left hand reaches back. Keep your hips facing forward. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back. Right knee comes down to the ground. Inhale your arms up for crescent moon. Now you can always use your hands as I'm demoing to help shift your hips back in line. You want your hips to both face forward equally, so maybe draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. Again, try to pull your left foot back isometrically and pull your right knee forward to really open up through your right hip flexor. Hands to the mat, step back to high plank. On your next exhale, lower down to your belly. We're coming into a cobra pose here. Hands next to your lower set of ribs. On your next inhale, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Squeeze your shoulders up for cobra, Bhujangasana. Maybe your hands even lift off the mat. Little to no pressure in your hands. Use the strength of your back line to lift up. On your next inhale, push back up to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just a little switch up here. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up high to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah. Draw your knee all the way up. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, low lunge. Come down on your back right knee again. Inhale, crescent moon. Reach your arms up high. Exhale, hands to the mat, low lunge. Inhale, standing L, bring your right foot up in line with your right hip. Option to stay here or start to use your right foot as a guide and really pushing through your left foot to help get some air here, maybe even coming into a headstand. Your right foot isn't here to swing up, it's your left foot doing the work. When you finish, come back to low lunge and then stepping back to high plank. Option to take a chaturanga or maybe you just hold high plank. Either way, we meet in downward facing dog. Well done. That is the full sun salutation B. You've done it slow. Next is time to flow. This is the big one. Now breath to movement, both sides. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, vertical twist to the right. Inhale, chair. Exhale, vertical twist to the left. Inhale, chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat, step back high to low plank, chaturanga dandasana. Always the option to take this from your knees. Coming to downward facing dog when you're done. Take a round of breath. Inhale, lift your right leg up high. Exhale, cheetah, knee to nose. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, low lunge, come down on your left knee. Inhale, crescent moon, reach up. Exhale, palms to the mat, low lunge. Inhale, lift your left leg up, coming to a standing L or come into L hops. Really push through your bottom right foot to swing up. Coming back to low lunge when you've finished. Exhale, high to low plank. Option to take one-legged high to low plank as I'm demoing. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, reach up. Exhale, vertical twist to the right. Inhale, chair. Exhale, vertical twist to the left. Inhale, back to chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the mat. Step your right foot back. This time, right knee comes down to the ground. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, hands to the mat, low lunge. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Hands by your lower set of ribs. Inhale, baby cobra, little to no weight in your hands. Exhale, release, belly resting. Inhale, push up to high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up high to the sky. Exhale, knee to nose cheetah. Push through your hands, curl. Inhale, your left leg up. Exhale, low lunge, come down on your right knee. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, hands to the mat, low lunge. Option to come to standing L, or maybe you take some L hops. I'm demoing here, just staying in a standing L and really lifting through my hands and squeezing my shoulder blades to help me balance. Take what you need here. When you've finished, bring your right foot back down to the ground, coming into low lunge, and then step back, taking a high to low plank chaturanga if you choose, one-legged if you choose. Meeting in downward facing dog, all the same when we've done. Well done. Great job. Always the option to run through this again if you want a little more warmth. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair, reach up, and then bring your hands long in front of you and maybe widen through your feet. You're going to come to your glutes here. See if you can sink to your glutes from chair. Eventually come onto your glutes. We're going to come into boat pose, Navasana, lifting your heels, pressing your tailbone, your glutes into the ground. You can bring your hands behind your thighs or reach your hands out. See if you can bring your shins parallel to your mat, maybe pointing through your toes. Exhale, lower down to low boat, and then go ahead and come onto the mat. We are setting up for bicycle press. Bring your knees back up in line with your hips, parallel your shins. Inhale, center, exhale, twist. Inhale, center, exhale, twist. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Your opposite elbow is driving toward your opposite knee as the other leg goes long. Always the option to keep your knees right into your chest, just keeping them there in reverse tabletop. You can also straighten your legs for straight bicycle press, your choice. We are almost done. Just one more each side. Yes, go ahead and bring your knees into your chest and roll over, just completely flop over, coming into a forearm plank. Tuck your toes, press your forearms into the ground, bring your hips level with your shoulders, and then maybe you hold one leg up and then bring the other leg up. So it's alternating balancing plank. Right foot lifts, left foot lifts, right foot lifts, left foot lifts. Take a couple more rounds at your own breath. Really try to keep your hips in line with your shoulders as you do this. After 2 more rounds, go ahead and come down and then just flip on back over, coming into boat pose on your next inhale. Maybe you take a couple rolls to get there. Once you come into boat pose, option to keep your heels lifted or grounded, your choice. When you get to boat pose, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, lower down to low boat. Exhale, explode back up to high boat. Inhale, low boat. Exhale, high boat. Inhale, low boat, exhale, high boat. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Use the force of your exhale to help draw your arms long by your sides as you come up into high boat. Beautiful. Go ahead and lower down and then flip on back over, coming back to that balancing forearm plank. Bring your forearms to the mat. Option to do high plank as well if that's easier on your shoulders, and you're just going to lift one foot and then the other foot, keeping your hips in line with your shoulders and also keeping your hips in line with each other, not rocking open to the left or to the right when you reach up your opposite foot. After this last round, go ahead and come down, roll on back over. We promise you we are almost done. Come back, rolling a few times along your low back to come into boat pose, Navasana. See if you can straighten your legs this time as you bring your arms by your sides. Take one more inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, lower down onto your back. Come to reclined bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet come to touch. Rest your hands anywhere you like. Take some breaths. Recover your breath here. And so begins the wind down. Use your hands to bring your knees back together, and then go ahead and take a few rolls along your spine here, rolling into tabletop. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. Once in tabletop, go ahead and come to sitting on your heels. Inhale your arms up, palms come to touch. Take an inhale here. Exhale, half tortoise. Let your hands come down towards the mat, but see if you can let your forehead come down before your hands. Keep stretching your hips towards your heels, and eventually your forehead and your hands will come down to the mat. Keep sending your navel to the back of your spine here as your hips keep sinking towards your heels. Take deep breaths in and out. Lean into the compression here. Feel your back line open. Press your pinkies into the mat to really open up in your triceps here. On your next inhale, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to rise back up, bringing your hands back overhead, ending just like we came into it. Exhale your hands back by your sides. Come to standing on your knees, coming into camel pose, Ustrasana. You can tuck your toes or let your the tops of your feet plant into the mat. If you are going to tuck your toes, make sure all 10 toes are tucked. Bring your hands to your lower back. Your fingertips are pointed down towards the ground. Squeeze your elbows towards each other here. Take an inhale. Exhale, send your hips forward as you start to lean back. Let your throat be open here. Really let your chest open up towards the sky. Keep your hips in line with your knees. If you have the space, you can bring your hands to your heels for a little bit more chest opening. It's only if you have the opening. Don't worry if you don't. You may come to this at some point. Keep breathing here. To come out of this, tuck your chin to your chest first, and then slowly start to roll back up, using your hands maybe to support you. Untuck your toes if they're tucked and come back to sitting on your heels, bringing your knees and your shins back together. Take some shoulder rolls here, and then go ahead and bring your legs out to one side and then to face forward at the top of your mat. Settle through your glutes here. Inhale your arms up high. Exhale, seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Reach your hands towards your toes or your ankles or your calves. Let your neck hang here. Don't worry about holding anything up. Inhale your arms back up. Exhale, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, start to lower onto your back, really taking your time. Once you're on your back, go ahead and bring the soles of your feet to touch again, knees wide for another recline bound angle, Supta Baddha Konasana. This is reclined butterfly. If you want your inner thighs to open up, draw your feet towards your pelvis. If you want your outer thighs to open up, then draw your feet away from your pelvis. Rest your hands anywhere you like. Just breathe here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Using your hands, bring your knees back together again, and then let your left leg come long on the mat and reach for the outside or inside edge of your right foot, coming to half happy baby, Ekapada Ananda Balasana. Your left hand will come to your left hip. This will really help you to draw your left hip back in line with your right. We're not opening up to the right side. You're staying completely grounded here. Option to straighten your right leg if you choose to open up through your right hamstring. Exhale, release your right leg down. Inhale, come to half happy baby on the left side, reaching for the outside or inside edge of your left foot. Hand on your right hip to help you keep your right hip anchored into the ground. Keep breathing here, straightening your left leg if you choose, taking what you need. And then slowly release your left foot onto the ground. And then bring your knees into the center, your feet wide, coming into fallen bridge. Maybe let your knees fall to one side and then the other, just to reset your low spine. From fallen bridge, bring your knees to reverse tabletop, and then wrap your right leg over your left leg, coming to supine cow face legs, supine gomukhasana. So your left hand will reach for your right foot, your right hand will reach for your left foot. With your left leg on top, see if you can draw your knees towards you. You're really going to feel this in your right hip, since that's the one on top. If you can, maybe you can cross your legs here, or maybe you can even reach for your ankles or your calves. The closer you draw your knees to your chest, the more opening you're going to feel. Once you find exactly what you're looking for, keep your legs crossed and then drop your legs over to the left, coming into supine twist on the left. You can use your left knee that's pinning your right leg to help really twist into this. Your right arm can come up and out. Really emphasize this twist by keeping your shoulders on the ground to let this come from your upper spine. Inhale, draw your knees back to center, unwind your legs, and then bring your left knee over your right leg, and then reaching for your ankles for supine cow face legs on this side, Supta Gomukhasana. You can reach for the outside edges of your feet or your ankles or your shin. See if you can draw your knees closer to your chest, finding exactly what you're looking for on this side, feeling this stretch in your left hip area, your left glutes. Always the option to take supine figure 4 as well if this is better for you. Teeing out your arms. On your next exhale, supine twist to the right. Drop your knees over to the right. Your left hand reaches up and out. Gaze over your left shoulder. Let your right knee pin your left leg into the mat, keeping this twist in your shoulders, your upper thoracic spine area. Breathe into this, letting your digestive system get some help, letting your hips open, letting your spine release. On your next inhale, draw your knees back to center, untwisting them. Exhale, come into a ball pose. Squeeze your forehead up to your knees. Flex all 600 plus muscles in your body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And release, coming into Shavasana. Peak pose, rest pose. Let yourself take up space on your mat. Coming into easy breathing. Just release and restore here.
Wonderful job. Way to stay true to yourself, to what you need, and taking your ego out of it, but letting yourself do what you know you are capable of. So great. No Shavasana this week. Instead, maybe just lie in Shavasana and listen to your favorite song, or listen to just the sounds around you, whether it's nature, whether it's your family, what have you. Maybe just listen to some sounds that help you to reconnect to areas that maybe you feel like you've fallen out of sync with a little bit. Whatever works for you, just do what makes you feel restored, renewed, and ready to just keep your day going.